Welcome guys to the ninth episode of United Talk, and in this one I have 4 stories to go over for you guys in the past week or so that's been catching my eye. And the first one obviously is something to do with the Glazer family, the owners of the club. It's going to be controversial no matter what, because I think they've been the most unpopular owner really like unknown in the history of United, because they done it and then they kind of like rested their debts with United, meaning that although we're still recognised as the biggest football club in the world, with the amount of debt that they have kind of like rested on our shoulders, it has kind of like limited our transfer and budget in that way. So a lot of fans have been unhappy ever since they took over, I think in 2005. So they have been, it hasn't been the happiest of era really in the Glazer or the United history for say. And yesterday it has been announced that United firstly announced a new sponsorship on their shirt with Chevrolet, the General Motors company, and that deal is gonna make us around £200 million in the next 7 years. So what you could see on our shirt is just like this image above. This is a mock-up that I've got from Tumblr, and some of you guys on Tumblr has been mocking this up, and it looked kind of weird to me because when you have a sponsor on a shirt for that long, and it just looks a bit weird when you suddenly go into a new one. It has changed in the past, from I remember from Vodafone to AIG and now Aon, and then it's Chevrolet, and it's just how it goes in football terms. Who's gonna make the best offer and best kind of like most attractive deal for the club, and Chevrolet has done it. And so a £200 million income will help the club reducing debts, and hopefully with all these kind of like income, then it will help the debt and then help us to kind of like stretch out our budget once again, so we can compete at the top, at the transfer targets, like Man City spending money necessary in order to get our targets and league back. And in conjunction with this news, it's also emerged that the Glazer family is about to sell 10% of United share on the stock market in New York, and that is hoping to raise £190 million. I know it's a lot of stats in this early stories, but it's just very important because another thing that they've done, the Glazers, is that they have announced that they're going to keep half of the money for themselves, and only letting United have half of the total amount that's going to come in from that stock market float. And this is gonna irritate every other fan again, because this shows that they're not really they're content to just keep above the kind of deadline for the monthly debt fees, but they're gonna make money on the way with United. Although they have laboured us with all these amount of debts, they still haven't made a really great effort to clear it, and then I think clear it, and then we hopefully can move on and start a new chapter. But it's a really sad state right now with the Glazer family, and this move is probably unlikely to help them in their cause really. So what do you guys think of that story? What do you guys think of the Glazer family overall? To be fair, Sir Alex has been defending them since day one, but I guess he has to do that because they are his boss. It's not like if he spoke out they will sack him, but he has to keep them happy and stuff, and we did win all those trophies in the last 6-7 years under them. So I guess it's a double-edged sword really in terms of criticising them, because they have in fairness bring some success to the club, but again in terms of the transfer market, if they did remove all that debt, I think we could compete at the very top once again. So what do you guys think of that story? And leave your comment below, guys. And the third story I'm going to talk about is to do with Paul Scholes, and this week he has been coming out in the media praising Shinji Kagawa. As you know, Kagawa made a very encouraging start to his Manchester United career, and there's not a lot else you can say about Kagawa's start really. He scored a goal, looked really lively in both the games in the tour so far, one against Ajax Cape Town and the other one scoring in the goal against Shanghai Shenhua, and he looked really good as well, playing in that number 10 role, dictating play, and with the Scholes Carrick axis at the back of him, they provide him with the possession needed to dominate play. Kagawa, I have to say, he's not a box midfield player. He's not going to dominate the middle like some of you guys may think. He's going to sit behind the front man, creating chances and making little darts. He's not a Scholes or Modric type or Xavi type of player who's going to get the ball in the central midfield and kind of like dictate the ball, and he can do that, but it's not his best position. And to be fair to him, like, he has got success from playing in that number 10 role for Dortmund, and so there's no point of changing it now. And I think from his performances so far, I think that is his best position, and it will be foolish for us to change that. And anyway, Paul Scholes, he said that he looks brilliant. I've only been training with him for a couple of weeks, but he's very good technically, and you can see the talent he's got already. He will bring goals to the team, whether he's scoring them or making them. He's got great movement and very clever in the runs he makes. It's difficult to say which foot is his best. He's equal with his right and left. He's a good lad. He doesn't speak much English yet, but I'm sure he will be very popular here. And, that's another point, that although Shinji Kagawa doesn't speak any English now, it does kind of like shows that he is a good player, picking up on the language and the kind of the trainings drills very quickly, as Sir Alex noted, saying that he doesn't need translation and other explanation. So it does show that he is picking it well, and he probably can understand more than he can speak, Shinji Kagawa. And so that looks like a very good start for him. Paul Scholes saying all the right stuff, and you must be doing something right if Paul Scholes himself come out in the media and praising you like that. So Kagawa, very encouraging start, and hopefully he can continue this form and carry us into the new season, and hopefully getting the goal against Everton in the near future. So leave a comment below, guys. What do you guys think of Kagawa so far, and what are your kind of like expectation of Kagawa in the new season too? Leave a comment below. And the last story I'm going to talk about is to do with Chicharito. As you know, Chicharito had a stop-start season last year because he didn't have a very good pre-season, playing in the Gold Cup with Mexico, and the summer before that he played in the World Cup as well. So he had a year straight of football, so he didn't really have a lot to rest. And then when he did come back, he immediately got injured with that concussion on the US tour. So again, his season was very stop-start, and he didn't get into any rhythm, unlike his first season where he got 20 goals. In the last season he got 12 goals. It's not that bad in considering that it is the same total as Danny Welbeck. But, a lot was expected of Chicharito last year because of the kind of like high expectation he set himself with the first season. And I'm sure that he would have been disappointed with the tally that he got last season, because he probably wanted to build upon that first season. And yeah, the injuries didn't help him that much, but so like I said, that he has given him extra weeks off this summer in order for him to recover. And it's good job that Mexico, I think, didn't include in any of the kind of like games this summer. He played in a couple, but that's about it, because Sir Alex has demanded or kind of like compensate and talk to Mexico to let him off this summer, because otherwise he would have been playing nearly 2 years straight of football, and that's unhealthy for any footballer. And you need to be fresh and ready mentally in order to come through this grueling season once again. And I think with the Premier League, we don't have any winter break, so it would be a lot harder for any foreign players who hasn't kind of played in that sort of period. And so Chicharito, hopefully he will be back this season. Sir Alex has done everything he can possible, bring in Kagawa, adding more options up front, allowing Chicharito to lead the line on this summer tour. I think Chicharito, like I said, he just needs a goal really in order to build his confidence up and get into that form that we all know he's capable of. He's a quality striker at the end of the day, and hopefully he'll be back, because if he had repeated his the goal scoring tally that he had in his first season, that could have made a huge difference to our league position last season. So Chicharito, hopefully he'll come back strong and better this season after a well-deserved break this summer. So what do you guys think of Chicharito, and what are your goal tally expectations for him for this coming season? There you guys have it for another episode of United Talk. I hope you liked this video, guys. Please rate, comment and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.